What's going on, everybody? My name is LB, the realist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, Surreal at Night, where the real is surreal. I had something that was on my mind, on my heart to talk about, so I figure I'd take this opportunity to make a short video and talk about it and to at least put some light on the subject. And the subject is mental illness. We talk about, or we tend to talk about mental illness a lot when it involves gun violence and mass murders. Usually that's when the subject of mental illness gets brought up, or unless we're talking about former President Donald Trump or current President Joe Biden. But mental illness is something that we know exists, but we don't do enough to solve or mitigate, at least. And I see it a lot where I work. I go downtown San Diego, or anywhere in San Diego, really. There's no place in San Diego where you won't find a homeless person. You just see them everywhere. They're by the beach, they're downtown, they're in La Mesa, El Cajon, Nasty City, Chula Vista. They're everywhere. They're in La Jolla. I believe they're in La Jolla. I don't mess around in La Jolla too much, but they're everywhere. They're in the nice neighborhoods. I know they're in Solana Beach. I know they're in Del Mar, and that's like the nice neighborhood, northern San Diego County. But so many of our homeless are not only homeless or unhoused, whatever you prefer to say. I'm not really PC like that. Homeless is, to me, it's not a negative term. I don't know why people changed it to unhoused. I don't know if that's supposed to be more sensitive, or I don't know. You guys tell me in the comment section, but homeless, whatever. A lot of these people are not only homeless, but they're dealing with mental illness on a whole nother level. I see some of these guys walking down the street just screaming to themselves, literally screaming to themselves, ah, ah, and having conversations as if they're really arguing with somebody in their head. And most likely it's caused by drugs. We have a fentanyl issue. We got a methamphetamine issue like crazy in San Diego. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I know for sure in San Diego it's been rough with meth. Meth is crazy. It's in Vegas. It's everywhere. I know it's everywhere, but because I live in San Diego, that's where I'm coming from. I'm speaking from a place of somebody who lives in San Diego, seeing a lot of meth heads. I see them on a bus. I see them walking down the street. And I think a lot of our homeless, unfortunately, get caught up in drugs, and it destroys their mental to the point where they're walking down the street screaming to themselves. They're having conversations, arguing with themselves. Excuse me. And it's super sad to watch. And it's super sad to experience, and you got to understand that, this is what the issue really is. It's not just homelessness, but it's mental illness. Because we could solve the issues of somebody not having a physical place to sleep, but you're never going to be able to solve the issues they're having in their brain by giving them a place to stay. It's more to it than that. It's family issues. It's the issues of not feeling like you're wanted or not having a sense of belonging. It's a feeling of, you can't cope with the world around you, so you turn to drugs because it's a temporary relief. But while you're being relieved, it's a great feeling, and you're not stressing out, or you're not worried, you're not panicking, you're not sad, you're not angry, you're just high. And I kind of understand that, I guess, that addict mentality. Not that I've ever been hardcore on drugs or anything, or addicted to like crack or anything like that, but I do understand a little bit about methamphetamines because that's just something that I've seen so much. I've had experience with it myself, as far as people around me. It's just, I've had somebody tell me before, I've had a literal prostitute tell me before that methamphetamine is the devil and that I should stay away from it. Methamphetamine. No, I wasn't out looking for hookers. Is just the situation I found myself in. I was with my big bro and we were with somebody else and they had brought her over, but it is what it is, folks. Even Jesus hung with hookers and prostitutes. So I don't feel bad about that or anything, but just for you guys that are inquiring why I brought up a prostitute, that's the reason why. She just so happened to be there. And, I was the young one in the room at the time, and she was trying to put me up on game and telling me about drugs and stuff. And she told me, she was like, meth is the devil. She's like, never do it. It's the devil. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But meth, and not only meth, but life in and of itself is stressful. And people so often, more often than not, turn to drugs and alcohol as a way to cope with life, as a way to cope with this negative and sadistic life that we live in, that we're living. It's sad, but that's the reality. So we're not talking about this massive mental health issue that we have, not only with homeless people, but with everyone. I look at some of the comment sections and some of the videos that people put out, and it amazes me. I look at the comment sections in social media, and the lack of empathy, the lack of pure, genuine humanity is just beyond words. Sometimes I can't believe it. I can't believe some of the things that people would say, some of the things that people believe, some of the things that people defend in comment sections and videos and on posts all over social media. It's unheard of. And it really goes to it paints a broader picture of mental illness in this world. It's not only the politicians and the oligarchs that are mentally deranged. It's a lot of the people on the ground. A lot of the people on the ground have mental illnesses that they don't even recognize. Literally, they don't acknowledge the fact that they're mentally ill. They don't acknowledge the fact that they're arguing for murder. They don't acknowledge the fact that that they're making light of somebody's death, or they're not taking into account somebody's pain. Like that part of themselves is just cut off, or because they're behind a keyboard or their phone or whatever, they feel as though it's not a bad thing to say, or it's not, or we shouldn't be too uptight and it's just words. These people are really deranged. And I don't have any specific examples to give you, but if you look at some of the most horrifying, tragic videos on the internet, and you go browse the comment section, let me know what you guys find. I bet you anything you will be disgusted. I'm pretty sure a lot of you already have seen what I'm talking about. It's a lot of mentally ill, mentally deranged people in this world, in the comment sections, not only in our streets, but in our phones, in our computers, on the internet, in the world. And it goes to show you that if we really want a better world, if we really want to change the world, then we have to change ourselves. We have to change the way we think. We have to change the way we feel inside our hearts. We have to change the way that we react to people. We have to change the way we talk to people. We have to change the way we think about people. We have to change the way we think about ourselves. A lot of us don't even think that we deserve things like Medicare for all, or a living wage, or respect. A lot of people don't think that we deserve any of these things. So they actively argue against it. And that's why we have people that vote against their wills and stand up for politicians and defend the status quo, because they don't even believe that we deserve these things. So because they don't think that we deserve these things, they'll argue for the master. That's the slave mentality. That's the slave mentality. You know, unfortunately, so many of us are so wrapped up in mental illness that we don't see the forest for the trees. We don't even acknowledge that we're doing what we're doing. And a lot of us, we could be hypocritical. You know, I'll be the first one to say maybe me too sometimes, you know, me too. Like, I could be hypocritical, and I expect that my supporters, my subscribers, anybody that watches me would call me out when I start acting hypocritical, because the last thing that I want to do is be in a bubble and to never have anybody call me out about it. I appreciate when you guys call me out. I could think of one person that always questions me, and they always show up. I don't even know if they're a subscriber or not, but I believe the name is Franken Zappa. I know a few of my subscribers and commenters know about this person because they always seem to go into videos and they challenge people. And I like that. I salute you, Franken Zappa. When you challenge me, I appreciate that, because you make me think deeper than the average Joe. You know, you make me actually have to put pressure on myself to make sure that I believe the things that I'm saying. And I need that from my supporters. I need that. Everybody needs that, whether you think you do or you don't. We all need that, so that we're not trapped in a bubble, so that we don't, you know, we don't get stuck in our ways because everyone always agrees with us all the time. So we have no reason to change. We have no reason to think any other way. You know, so people like Franken Zappa, I appreciate for keeping me honest, you know, for keeping me thinking, keeping me on my toes. And you're supposed to question everything. You know, you're supposed to question everything. So that's one thing that I appreciate. And I know I'm kind of going off on a rant here. I kind of went off into a tangent on that one. But the main point of this is to say that we have to make sure that we're aware of these things. Because if we can't change ourselves, then we'll never be able to make the changes that we want in the world. It starts with us. And a lot of us, we may think we have it all figured out. We may think that we're perfect and, you know, we can do no wrong, but we can definitely do wrong. We can definitely have blind spots. Like so many of our favorite YouTubers out there and social media influencers, you know, we appreciate them. We love them so much and we prop them up. But we have to remember that they're just people, just like us. They breathe like us. They fart like us. They go to the bathroom like us. And they have flaws like us. You know, they make mistakes just like we do. So they can have blind spots. I can have my blind spots. You know, people can have their blind spots, and it's up to us as their viewers, as their supporters, their subscribers, to call them out. Not negatively, positively, respectfully, all out of love. All out of love. And another thing, there's a certain way that you should talk to people. You know, there's no reason to be disrespectful or negative or to outright just berate somebody. You can call them out. You can have a disagreement with them. You can hold their feet to the fire while doing it respectfully, while doing it professionally. You know, I mean, there's a difference between being real and being a real a-hole. You know what I'm saying? So we have to change ourselves so that we can change the world. We have to recognize our flaws. We have to recognize our blind spots. We have to be able to take constructive criticisms. We have to really make our minds, our hearts, and our spirits healthy in order for us to do anything. You know, that's why I said in one of my last videos, you have to be a little selfish, because if you don't know how to take care of yourself, how are you ever going to be able to take care of anybody else? You don't love and respect yourself, but you're trying to give something that you don't even have for yourself to other people. You know, and I know there's a lot of people that do that, but it's not a healthy thing to do, because there's nothing left in your reserves for you. There's nothing left. You have to make your mind healthy. You know, we have to constantly keep these things in the forefront of our brains, because everything, like most of the issues that we have, starts with us. It starts with our mental and how we think and how we believe, what we think of ourselves, what we think we deserve, what we think the world deserves. You know, so I think that I'm going to start making more videos about this. I know it's kind of random. I know it's kind of, what's the right word to describe this? It's pretty general, you know, mental illness and, you know, accountability and, you know, what we deserve. I know, but these are all things that I think about on a daily basis. And I think that until we're able to cope with these things, we'll never be able to properly move forward, because we don't even have the basics right. We don't even have the foundation right of what we are, who we are, and what we believe. So if we don't have the foundation right, how are we ever going to build from that? You know, so leave me your thoughts in the comment section below, folks. It's not only the homeless that have mental illnesses, it's all of us. We have mental illnesses. We have mental inconsistencies. We have mental scars from everything that we've been through and everything that we've been told. We've been lied to. We've been disparaged. And we've been wronged. And it's time for us to take our power back. And it starts with love. It starts with peace, and it starts with light. And that's what I'm about. Love, peace, and light. So until next time, folks, remember, hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. And find my information down below so we can keep connected, keep networking, keep organizing. And I'll catch you guys on the next video, all right? Do something kind, rewind, and remember to take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves, honestly, so that we can take care of each other. And until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out.